Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, while I support the efforts to establish a system of military commissions as required by the Supreme Court's decision in the Hamadan case, I am disappointed that a bill of this magnitude is being considered under a closed rule without assurances that traditional notions of due process, judicial independence, and full compliance with the Geneva Convention will be in the bill. One of the most egregious problems of this bill is the creation of a presumption in favor of admitting coerced evidence, along with the continued insistence that a person can be fairly convicted using secret evidence. Another problem with the bill is it strips jurisdictions from civil courts from hearing the jurisdiction of civil courts from hearing cases involving plaintiffs who seek redress for violations of the torture provisions of the Geneva Convention. This bill actually retroactively applies standards. Now, whether this review the habeas corpus is statutory or constitutional, it's a good idea, and it's the only way anybody can get a hearing on whether or not they've been tortured by the United States. Moreover, the only automatic right of appeal would be to an entirely new appellate court of military commission review, with all of the judges appointed by and in the chain of command of the Secretary of Defense. In addition, the Secretary of Defense would be granted wide latitude to depart without judicial scrutiny from the rules and detainee protections the legislation purports to create. It would allow him to do so whenever he deems it practicable or consistent with military or intelligence activities. In an extraordinary move, the bill would retroactively limit the scope of U.S. obligations under Common Article 3 more than half a century after the United States ratified the Geneva Convention, and it immunizes all previous violations of War Crimes Act and other laws against torture and inhumane treatment of detainees in our custody. This retroactive provision grants immunity to government officials and civilians such as CIA operatives or interrogators who may have authorized order. Can I get 30 more seconds?
I grant the gentleman 30 seconds.
Thank you. Such as CIA operatives, interrogators of those who may have authorized or ordered or even participated in illegal acts of torture or abuse. Mr. Speaker, this is a complex bill, and it is for us on a take-it-or-leave-it basis, no amendments. We should take the time to consider all of these new provisions deliberately to ensure that the legislation does not undermine the United States commitment to the rule of law, the success of its fight against terrorism, and most of all, the safety of our United States servicemen and women. I urge my colleagues to defeat the passage of H.R. 6054.
Gentleman from Wisconsin. House will be